Welcome to The Deep Dive, part of the Funeral Channel Network podcast. I'm your host. And today we are wading into waters that are, well, to be honest, they're complicated.
They really are.
We're standing at a really specific, really strange intersection. On one side, you have the deepest, most raw human emotion possible, grief. And on the other side, you have the often frustrating, glitchy, sterile world of modern technology.
It is a collision course, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the last place on earth you want to be dealing with a login screen, a forgotten password, or a confusing interface.
Absolutely.
But that is exactly where so many families find themselves.
Exactly. And we have to talk about it. We are living in a world where our lives are. They're digitally native.
Completely.
Our photos are in the cloud. Our group chats are our primary mode of communication. Our banking is an app.
Right.
So it is inevitable that the way we mourn, the way we remember, is migrating to the digital space too.
It has to.
But here's the problem space we need to really sit with today. This shift brings a massive headache.
It brings decision paralysis,
Yes.
and it brings it at the worst possible time.
Right. You are in one of the most vulnerable moments of your life. Someone you love has died.
You're exhausted.
You're exhausted. You probably haven't slept in 48 hours. Your house is full of people. And suddenly, you are expected to act like a chief technology officer.
Yeah, project manager.
And evaluate software platforms to manage the legacy of a human being. It's an insane ask.
It is the perfect storm of stress. You have a deadline. Usually the funeral service is in 3 or 4 days.
A hard deadline.
A very hard deadline. And you have this emotional fog that makes simple tasks feel like climbing Everest. And then you open Google, type in online memorial or digital guest book, and what happens?
Oh, you get millions of results.
Millions. It's a fire hose of information.
It is exploding. And honestly, looking at the landscape, a lot of it feels predatory.
It can be.
Or if not predatory, just overwhelmed with features you don't understand and probably don't need.
Right, which is why we need a guide.
So to navigate this, we are pulling from a really comprehensive text today, the Modern Digital Guest Book Selection Guide. And I have to be honest with you, when I first opened the source material, I braced myself.
You thought it was going to be a tech manual.
I expected a technical manual. Click here for feature A, upgrade for feature B, here is the API documentation.
But it's not that at all.
Not at all.
That's why this source is so valuable to us.
No, it's surprisingly human.
That is because this guide reframes the entire conversation. It describes the selection process not as a technical task comparing gigabytes and pixels and server speeds,
Which is what you'd expect.
but as a roadmap for what they call emotional usability.
Emotional usability. I want to put a pin in that phrase because I think it's the anchor for our whole hour today.
It really is.
It's a fascinating concept. The guide isn't just about code, it's about psychology. It's about how our brains work when they are broken by sadness.
Exactly. So our mission for this deep dive is to unpack that. We're going to break down how families can choose a digital guest book platform that actually helps rather than hinders.
Right. How to find the signal in all that noise.
We want to help you spot the traps, because there are traps, and find the tools that matter.
And we have to address the core tension highlighted in the source right away.
Yeah.
The marketplace is flooding with options. Some are flashy, some are expensive, some are free. But families are often making these choices in a rush.
And in that rush, the instinct is to grab the shiniest object.
Yes.
The platform with the most bells and whistles. You think, oh, this one has background music and animated candles and a social media feed and a timeline view.
It feels like more is better.
I feel like more features equal more love. But the source argues that is often the wrong approach. It introduces this beautiful concept of the quiet companion.
The quiet companion. I love that phrasing. Unpack that for us.
It's the philosophy that a digital guest book shouldn't be the star of the show. It shouldn't be a centerpiece that screams for attention.
That's not the main event.
It should be a quiet companion to the service-supportive, present, but unobtrusive. If the tech is shouting at you, it's failing.
That's a great line.
It needs to sit in the background and hold space, not fill it with noise.
So here is our roadmap for the hour. We're going to break this down into the core pillars the guide suggests. We're going to talk about purpose. Why are we doing this in the first place?
The foundational question.
We're going to look at usability and the grandma test.
Which is critical.
We'll dive into the murky waters of privacy, the trap of over-customization, and how to blend the digital with the physical.
And we'll end with a really difficult question about what permanence really means in a digital age.
Yeah, that's a big one. Okay, let's dive into section 1, the purpose. I think we have to start with the fundamental question the source asks. Why do we even need this?
Right.
Is the goal to replace the dusty old book on the podium at the church entrance? You know the one.
The pleather one.
Fake leather, gold foil lettering.
Yeah. The short answer is no. And the source is very emphatic about this.
Okay.
If you go into this thinking, I'm going to replace the physical ritual, or I'm going to digitize the hug, you've already lost. The digital guest book is not intended to replace human connection.
So it's not a substitute.
No. It's not there to replace the ritual of standing in line, shaking hands, looking someone in the eye, or signing your name with a pen. It is meant to extend those things.
Extend them how? Because I think some people, especially traditionalists, see digital as a threat to the physical.
It's a common fear.
They worry that if we have a website, no one will come to the funeral.
That's a common fear, but the data doesn't back it up. Think about the constraints of physics. A traditional book is limited by time and space.
You have to be there.
You have to be in that specific room at that specific hour to sign it.
Right. The visitation is from 4 to 7, and if you miss it, you miss it.
Exactly. But we live in a globalized world. Families are scattered. Friends move away.
All over the place.
Your college roommate might live in Tokyo. Your cousin might be in London. They can't just drop everything and fly in.
Or health issues. I mean, thinking back to the last few years, how many people couldn't travel because they were sick or immunocompromised?
Or just couldn't afford it.
Or simply couldn't afford a last-minute flight. Funerals don't give you 2 months' notice to book a ticket.
They really don't.
No.
And if you rely solely on the physical book, you are effectively erasing the presence of everyone who couldn't buy a plane ticket on 24 hours' notice.
Wow, erasing the presence.
You are telling them, unintentionally, that their memory doesn't count because they aren't in the room.
That's a heavy thought.
The digital version captures memories from those people. It validates their grief, too. It tells them your relationship mattered, even from a distance.
It's like their grief doesn't make it into the official record. If it's not in the book, did they even mourn?
Right. And the digital platform changes the nature of the record itself.
How so?
Well, the source notes that a physical book is usually just a list of names. Maybe condolences scribbled here and there.
Oh, sorry for your loss. The Smiths.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a roll call. It proves you were there, but it doesn't say why you cared.
Right. It's attendance.
But a digital platform is a repository of memory.
It collects stories, it collects photos, it becomes a biography.
It collects the texture of the person's life.
Texture, I like that.
The source points out that unlike a signature, these platforms capture the narrative. You get the story of the time the deceased helped a neighbor fix a flat tire in the rain.
A memory you never would have known otherwise.
Or you get the photo from the office Christmas party in 1995. You see a side of them you never saw. And this leads to the source's key metric for evaluation. This is really important for anyone listening who might be shopping for one of these right now.
Okay, so what's the metric?
Don't judge a platform by its feature count. Don't look for the one with the most widgets.
The shiniest object.
Right. Judge it by how effectively it supports remembrance.
How effectively it supports remembrance.
Does this tool help tell the story, or does it just add noise?
That's a great filter.
If a feature doesn't help someone share a memory, it shouldn't be there.
That distinction supporting remembrance versus just having features leads us directly into the second section.
It does.
And honestly, I think this is the most practical part of the guide. Section 2, ease of use.
Yes.
The source calls this the non-negotiable.
It is the single most important evaluation criterion. Full stop.
Why so absolute?
If you get this wrong, nothing else matters. You can have the most beautiful, secure, permanent platform in the world, but if people can't figure out how to post on it, it's worthless.
It's a digital ghost town.
A very expensive, very sad digital ghost town.
They call it the grandma test, right?
In spirit, yes. It's a classic tech term, but it's never been more applicable.
Right.
The guide emphasizes that you have to look at the user demographic. Who is at a funeral?
Everyone. Literally everyone. You have the teenage grandkids who are glued to TikTok. You have the colleagues from work who are used to LinkedIn. And you have Great Aunt Edna, who still uses a flip phone and thinks the cloud is actual weather.
And crucially, they are all in different emotional states. Some are composed, some are weeping, some are in shock. The last thing, the absolute last thing any of them need is a barrier to entry.
We call this friction.
Exactly. In the tech world, friction is annoying. It makes you drop off a shopping cart.
Right.
In the funeral world, friction is cruel.
That's a powerful way to put it. So let's talk about these friction points. What are the big ones? What kills a digital guest book?
Accounts. That is the #1 killer.
Oh, I hate this. Walk me through the scenario.
Okay, imagine you're a guest. You're at the service.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're at home looking at the obituary. You scan a QR code.
Okay, I'm with you.
You're ready to write a beautiful story about how the deceased changed your life. You type it out on your phone with your thumbs, which takes effort.
A lot of effort and emotional effort.
Right. You hit submit, and suddenly a pop-up appears. Please create an account to post.
No, my heart just sank. And it wants an email, a password.
Password must contain 1 capital letter, 1 number, and 1 symbol.
Oh, come on.
Yes. And maybe it wants you to verify the email by going to your inbox and clicking a link.
And what happens? You're standing in a funeral home hallway? We're not going to do that.
You close the tab.
Yep.
You put the phone away. The memory is lost.
Wow.
Not just delayed lost, because you're not going to go back and do that later. The moment is gone.
The impulse is gone?
The source is clear. Users should not have to create an account to post, period. If you require a login, you're prioritizing data collection over the grieving process.
That seems like such a simple rule, but so many platforms violate it.
They do.
Because they want the user data. They want the email so they can market to them later.
Exactly. They prioritize their growth over the user's grief. A good platform allows guest posting.
So you don't need a password.
Right. Maybe you just enter your name and email for the family to see so they know who it's from, but you don't have to create a password and join a community.
What about navigation? That's another friction point.
It must be flat and simple.
Yeah.
No hidden menus. No click here to go to the subpage to find the guest book.
One click.
It needs to be 1 click, right? Submit. That's it.
And we have to look at this from the family's perspective, too. The back end. Because someone has to set this thing up.
Right. The family is grieving. They're likely sleep deprived.
For sure.
Their cognitive function is actually impaired by trauma.
Yeah.
They should not need a degree in computer science to set this up.
If the platform requires a manual, it fails.
100%. It should be as easy as posting on Facebook. Maybe easier.
It's interesting because we usually associate tech savvy with younger generations, but grief makes us all a little less sharp, doesn't it?
Cognitive load is real. Grief takes up about 90% of your RAM,
Yeah.
if we want to use a computer analogy.
That's a great analogy.
Your brain is processing trauma. It doesn't have the bandwidth to process a complex user interface.
So the interface needs to be intuitive.
Clear text fields, uncluttered interfaces, big, obvious buttons. The source argues that if guests struggle to navigate it, the value of the tribute diminishes significantly because the participation rate just drops.
You end up with an empty page, which is even sadder.
Exactly. It's a monument to a failed technology choice, not a life.
That connects perfectly to Section 3, accessibility. But the guide breaks this down into 2 types, technical and emotional.
It does. Let's start with the technical.
Okay.
This is about device agnosticism. It's a fancy term that just means it has to work on everything.
Not just an iPhone app.
Correct. In fact, apps are bad friction.
Oh, interesting. Why?
Do not make people download an app to attend a funeral. That's another huge barrier.
Right. You have to go to the App Store, wait for it to download.
It must be a website that works on smartphones, tablets, and desktops equally well. It must work across different browsers, Chrome, Safari, Edge, Firefox. You cannot control what device a guest will use.
You have to assume the widest possible range of tech.
If it looks broken on an Android phone, you've alienated half your guests.
And visual accessibility.
This is vital. We mentioned Great Aunt Edna earlier. Can she read the text?
Right.
Is the font light gray on a white background?
No.
That's a trendy design aesthetic, low contrast text.
Yeah, you see that everywhere.
But it's terrible for accessibility, especially for older eyes.
Clear, crisp text.
The source emphasizes readable fonts, high contrast, and adjustable text sizes. If your guest has to squint to read the tribute, the design has failed them.
But here's where it gets really interesting. The source introduces this concept of emotional accessibility.
Yes.
This was a total aha moment for me. I hadn't thought about accessibility in terms of feeling before.
It is a profound insight. It's what separates a good platform from a great one.
Break it down for us. What is emotional accessibility?
It starts with the understanding that grief unfolds at different paces.
Okay.
In a physical guest book, you have a 3-hour window during the visitation to sign.
The 4 to 7 window again?
Right. If you aren't ready to speak then, if the words won't come, you miss your chance.
Right. And sometimes you are just too choked up to write anything meaningful in that moment.
Absolutely.
You just write, "Sincerely, John," because your hands are shaking and you don't want to hold up the line.
Exactly. You default to the minimum because the pressure is high. Emotional accessibility means removing the pressure of time. A good platform allows messages to be added days, weeks, or even months later.
So I can go home, process my feelings, look through old photos, and then write something.
Yes, when you're ready, when the memory comes to you.
Not when the funeral home schedule dictates.
Precisely. And the source notes that the result of this patience is a higher quality of tribute.
How so?
You stop getting generic, sorry for your loss notes scrawled in haste.
The default.
And you start getting thoughtful, heartfelt stories that people took the time to compose, the little anecdotes that really define a person.
That is such a crucial shift. It moves the guestbook from being a roll call to being a memoir.
And it removes the guilt.
Mm.
Guests shouldn't feel rushed or obligated to sign immediately. That pressure is anti-grief.
Mm.
Some people mourn immediately. Some people need the process for 6 months. The platform needs to be open for both. It needs to be patient.
Moving on to section 4. This is a trap I think a lot of us would fall into. The customization trap.
Oh, absolutely. It's the I want it to be perfect syndrome.
Yes. The source talks about this balancing act. You want the page to look like your loved one.
Of course you do.
If they were a gardener, you want flowers. If they were a sailor, you want the ocean.
Right. You want to honor their personality.
But then suddenly, you're designing a website from scratch at 2:00 a.m.
And that is the danger zone. The expert distinction here is between meaningful customization and a design project.
What's the difference? Because that line feels blurry.
Meaningful customization is high impact, low effort.
Okay, give me an example.
Choosing a cover photo, that's huge. It's the first thing people see.
Right, the main picture.
Writing a tribute. Selecting a color scheme that feels appropriate, maybe a soft blue or a warm earth tone. It's about setting the mood. It's about the feeling.
And a design project.
A design project is when you are tweaking margins, choosing between 50 different fonts, moving image blocks around, or trying to lay out photo grids.
All the stuff that a graphic designer would do.
Exactly. The source advises that customization options must be optional and guided.
Guided is the key word there.
Yes. Families should not be forced to make dozens of design decisions. This is where templates are a lifesaver.
Okay.
A good platform offers pre-designed templates that already look dignified and professional. You just drop in the photo and the text.
So you're not starting from a blank canvas.
God, no. A blank canvas is terrifying when you're grieving. You want guardrails. You want a clear path.
The source actually mentions a philosophy here referencing providers like the funeral program site. They talk about this idea of focusing on meaning rather than aesthetics alone.
That's a critical reference.
Yeah.
The funeral program site has been around for a long time in the print world, and the philosophy translates here. The design is the vessel, not the content.
I like that. The vessel.
The content is the memory. If you spend all your time polishing the vessel, you lose energy for the memory.
It's like wrapping a present. The wrapping paper matters, but if you spend 10 hours on the paper and forget the gift, you've missed the point.
Precisely. So the conclusion on design. Customization should enhance the emotional connection, not become a burden.
And how do you know when it's become a burden?
If you find yourself stressing about hex codes for colors, you're on the wrong platform.
Or you've just gone too deep and need to pull back. Simple is dignified.
Simple is respectful.
Let's shift gears to something that makes everyone anxious. Section 5. Privacy and control.
This is the elephant in the room.
It is. Because on one hand, you want everyone to see it. You want the world to know how great this person was. On the other hand, the internet is. Well, the internet. There is a real anxiety about sharing personal grief publicly.
And rightly so.
Trolls, spam bots, data miners. It's scary.
Digital books are often public by default, which can be a huge shock to families. The source outlines a control panel of features that are necessary for peace of mind.
What should we be looking for?
First and foremost, moderation.
The ability to approve messages.
Yes, before they go live. This prevents spam, which sadly happens even on obituaries.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Buy Bitcoin links on a memorial page. It's disgusting, but it happens.
That's horrifying. I can't even imagine.
But moderation also prevents, let's call it awkward content.
What do you mean by that?
Grief brings out complex family dynamics.
Oh, right. The human element.
Maybe an estranged relative posts something passive-aggressive. I forgive you for what you did, or something like that.
Oh, Not what you want to see.
Or someone shares a photo from a bachelor party 20 years ago that the widow really doesn't want to see right now.
So the family acts as the gatekeeper.
Exactly. It gives them agency. They can curate the space to ensure it remains safe and respectful.
What's next on the control panel?
Second is access control. Is the page indexable by Google? Can anyone find it?
Or is it private?
Or is it limited to people who have this specific link? Families need to be able to toggle that.
Because sometimes you want the world to know, sometimes you just want the immediate family to know.
Exactly. And then there is the data policy.
The fine print.
Transparent handling of information. You don't want a platform that is going to sell your guests' email addresses to marketers.
Oh my God.
Sorry for your loss. Would you like to buy a toaster? That is the ultimate disrespect.
That can't be real.
It is with some of the free platforms. You need to check the fine print. Does the platform sell user data? If yes, run away.
Ugh. But there is another aspect of privacy that the guide touches on, long-term access versus subscriptions.
This is a big one.
This feels like the rent versus own debate.
It is the difference between buying a book and renting a book. Traditional guest books sit on a shelf forever.
Right?
Digital books rely on servers, and servers cost money.
Electricity, maintenance, storage.
They do. So many platforms operate on a subscription model. The warning here is about platforms that cut off access if a subscription isn't renewed.
Imagine that. You stop paying $5 a month, and your dad's memorial page is deleted.
It happens. We call it digital eviction.
Digital eviction? Wow.
It's traumatic. The source urges families to look for forever plans, usually a one-time fee upfront that covers perpetual hosting.
So you don't have to worry about it.
But also, and this is key archiving,
The ability to download it.
yes.
Yeah.
Can you export the messages as a PDF? Can you download the photos in high resolution?
Why is that so important if there's a forever plan?
Because companies go out of business, servers crash, startups fail.
Right.
If you don't have a local copy, you don't really own the memory, you're just renting access to it.
That connects to the evolution of grief point the source makes.
Right. Today, you might want the page to be public. In 5 years, you might want to take it private. You might want to close it to new comments, but keep it readable. The platform must offer that flexibility because grief changes over time.
So you're not locked into the decision you made in the first 72 hours.
You might want to close the book symbolically at some point without destroying it. You need that control.
Now let's talk about the logistics. How do we actually get people to use these things? Section 6. Integration.
Yes.
Blending the digital and the physical.
This is where we stop the digital guest book from feeling like a separate experience.
What do you mean?
It shouldn't be, here is the funeral, and over here on the internet is the guest book. They need to be one event, one cohesive experience.
The source calls the funeral program the bridge.
Yes. The printed program, the thing you hold in your hand at the service, is the bridge between tradition and technology.
It's a physical object that can direct you to the digital space.
Precisely.
So tactically, how do we do this?
QR codes. It's the standard now.
It really is.
You print a QR code directly in the funeral program or on the memorial cards.
I remember when QR codes were considered kind of dorky, but post-pandemic, everyone knows how to use them.
Everyone.
So I'm sitting in the pew waiting for the service to start. I see the code.
You scan it, and you are immediately taken to the page. You can read stories while you wait. You can upload a photo you have on your phone right then and there.
That's amazing.
It transforms that waiting time into remembering time. Instead of staring at the floor, you are engaging with the life of the person.
The source also mentions obituary links.
Essential. Embedding the link in the digital notice on the funeral home website or social media, that captures the remote audience.
The cousin in London.
The cousin in London, the college roommate in Tokyo, the people we talked about earlier who can't be there physically.
And what about on-site tech? Tablets. I've seen this a few times.
This is becoming more common, but it has to be done carefully.
Okay.
Placing a tablet discreetly near the paper guest book.
Discreetly being the operative word.
Yes. You don't want a glowing neon kiosk like you're ordering fast food. It shouldn't look like an ATM.
Right. Can't be jarring.
But having a tablet allows people to see the digital photos scrolling, a digital slideshow, or helps the younger generation engage in a way that feels native to them.
The goal is seamlessness.
Correct. Gently guiding guests toward the digital option without disrupting the solemnity of the service. And again, treating the in-person and remote guests equally. When you integrate well, the cousin in London feels just as included as the cousin in the front row.
They're all in the same room, essentially.
They're all contributing to the same book.
Moving into section 7, we're going deeper into emotional usability and something the tech world calls feature creep.
Feature creep is the enemy of dignity.
Wow. Okay, unpack that. The source talks about emotional UI. What does that mean in practice?
It means the language used by the platform matters, the words themselves.
For example?
Does the button say submit data, or does it say share your memory?
Oh, wow, that's a huge difference. Submit data feels like I'm paying my taxes.
Exactly. It's cold, it's bureaucratic. Share your memory is an invitation.
It's warm.
Does the prompt say required field, or does it say please tell us who you are? The tone must be compassionate, not transactional.
The software needs to speak like a funeral director, not a robot.
Yes, that's the perfect way to put it.
And visuals.
Calm, uncluttered, white space is your friend.
Breathing room.
If the page looks like a MySpace page from 2005, blinking text, spinning logos, crowded layouts, it feels chaotic. Chaos is not comforting.
No.
When you are grieving, you want visual silence. You want room to breathe.
Let's talk multimedia. Photos, videos, audio.
Pros and cons. The pro is that it enriches the experience. Hearing a voice note of the deceased or seeing a video of them laughing, that is powerful. It brings them back in a way text cannot.
But the con?
Overwhelm or inappropriateness.
Like someone uploading a video from a rowdy bachelor party.
Exactly. Or just too much noise. Auto-playing music, for example.
Oh, do not get me started on auto-playing music.
It's the worst.
There's nothing worse than opening a web page in a quiet room. Maybe you're at work or putting the baby to sleep, and suddenly MIDI violin music blasts out of your speaker.
It's intrusive. It takes control away from the user. The source is firm on this. Families must have the ability to toggle these features on or off.
So you control the experience.
If you want a quiet, text-only tribute, the platform should allow that.
And then there is feature overload. Platforms that try to do too much. Calendars, social feeds, gift shops.
Ads.
Ads.
Some free platforms run ads. Nothing ruins a moment of silence like an ad for car insurance or weight loss pills popping up over the deceased's face.
That is a hard pass. That is just unacceptable.
The source asks the critical question. Does this feature help people remember and connect, or does it complicate the experience?
The same filter from the beginning.
If the answer is complicate, cut it.
Simplicity wins.
Every time. Feature restraint is a sign of thoughtful design. A good designer knows what to leave out.
We are coming down to the final section, section 8. The selection process as an act of care.
I love how the source reframes this.
Me too.
It's not about buying software. It's about taking care of your community. It's about creating a safe space where people can heal.
So let's recap the comparison criteria for the listener. If you are making a checklist right now, what is on it?
Ease of use. That's number 1. The grandma test.
Can everyone use it without frustration? Okay.
Accessibility, both technical and emotional. Does it work on all devices, and does it give people time?
Right. Patience.
Privacy.
Yeah.
Do you have moderation and control? Do you own your data?
Super important.
Customization. Is it guided and meaningful? Not a complex design project?
Guardrails, not a blank canvas.
Integration. How easily does it connect to the physical service? Think QR codes. And long-term access. No data eviction. Can you download an archive?
And avoiding pressure.
Yes. Beware of high-pressure sales tactics. Buy now or lose this deal.
That's a huge red flag.
That is a red flag in the funeral industry. Dignified services give you space to decide.
And look for support systems.
This is where companies like the funeral program site come up again in the source. You want a platform or a provider that offers step-by-step guidance.
A human.
A support team. Because if you get stuck at 11:00 p.m. the night before the funeral, you need a human being, not a chatbot. You need someone who understands the stakes.
The final standard the source gives us is beautiful. The best platform is invisible.
It works so smoothly you don't notice the tech. You only notice the memories. That is the goal.
So let's synthesize this. We started this deep dive overwhelmed by choices. We looked at the problem space. Too many options, too much grief.
And we moved to understanding that the solution isn't the fanciest tech, but the most emotionally usable tech.
We realized that accessibility isn't just about font size, it's about giving people time to process their feelings.
We learned that customization should be meaningful, not burdensome, and that privacy is about safety and control.
And we saw how the physical and digital can work together, with things like funeral programs acting as the bridge.
If we look at the bigger picture, these digital tools when chosen well, extend the reach of love.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
They allow a grandmother's legacy to reach a great-grandchild who hasn't been born yet. They allow a friend across the ocean to say goodbye.
So they don't diminish tradition.
They don't diminish tradition, they expand the container of memory.
That is a powerful image, expanding the container of memory.
It really is. It makes space for everyone.
I want to leave you with a final provocative thought to mull over. We talked about forever access.
Right.
But we know technology changes fast. In 100 years, when the servers change, when file formats become obsolete, when the cloud evolves into something else, what does permanence really look like for our digital memories?
It's the digital equivalent of the burning library of Alexandria.
Wow.
It's a fragile permanence. We think it's forever because it's not physical, but it might be even more breakable.
Exactly. A hard drive fails, a company goes under, a file format is no longer supported, and poof,
It's gone.
it's something to think about as we curate our digital legacies. Maybe print isn't so dead after all.
Maybe not. Maybe that downloaded PDF is the most important part of the whole thing.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope this helps you choose with confidence and compassion.
Take care.